Hey guys, welcome to GCSEMathsGuide.com. I'm Mr. Tafadar and today I'm gonna show you how to solve an equation using computing the square. Now I've made a video on computing the square, so if you haven't watched that, go and watch that before you watch this video here. Alright, so without any further seconds, let's go and look at a couple of questions. So let's say we had x squared plus 8x plus 3 is equal to 0. So I want to solve x squared plus 8x plus 3 is equal to 0. And I need to use computing the square to solve that question. And I want to use that method. I know there are other methods that you can use, but I just want to use computing the square. Alright, so how do I do that? The first thing I'm going to do is compute the square for the actual expression. So again, brackets, a squared, a minus, an x here. The next thing I'm going to do is find the missing number here. And to find that number, I'm going to take a look at the plus 8. So the plus 8 here, the number which is next to the x, and I'm going to divide that by 2, so it gives me plus 4. Next, I'm going to square the 4. 4 squared is equal to 4 times 4, which is equal to 16. So here, I'm going to write 16. And then finally, I'm going to bring down the plus 3. So I end up with x plus 4 squared, and minus 16 plus 3 is equal to minus 13. Right, now solving means that I need to find what the value of x is. So once you've completed the square, the next step is to take a look at the minus 13 here and get rid of it. Now in order to get rid of it, you're going to take away 13 on both sides, so you're going to add plus 13. So the opposite of plus 13 is add 13. So what I'm going to do is add plus 13 on both sides to get rid of the plus 13 from that side. So if I add plus 13 here, then I'm going to add plus 13 to that side as well. So I end up with x plus 4 squared is equal to 13. Basically the minus 13 and the plus 13 cancel out. The next thing I'm going to do is take the square root on both sides. Okay, so I'm going to take the square root on that side, the square root on that side. Now when you take the square root, you have to make sure that you take the square root and you don't forget a plus and a minus. Okay, so that's just a rule that you need to remember. I'm not going to go into the details, but just be aware that whenever you take the square root of a number, you have to add plus and the minus. So I'm going to take the square root on both sides, and that's going to get rid of the squared here. So I'm left with x plus 4 on that side, and here I'm going to be left with plus and minus 13. And finally, I'm going to get rid of the plus 4. The opposite operation to plus 4 is minus 4. So I'm going to take away 4 on that side, and I'm going to take away 4 on that side. And I end up with just an x here. And on this side, I end up with minus 4 plus and minus root 13. In some question, you might have to simplify the square root, but in this case, we can't simplify the square root of 13 anymore. So there's my final answer. Alright, let's take a look at another example very quickly. So that will be example number 2. So let's say I wanted to compute the square for x squared minus 6x plus 3, and I want to solve that and find what x is equal to. So I want to solve it. First step is to complete the square. So let's complete the square. So I'm going to put a bracket, a squared, an x, and a minus. Next, I'm going to do minus 6 divided by 2. Oops, sorry. So minus 6 divided by 2. How much does that give me? Well, it gives me minus 3. And then minus 3 squared is equal to, so minus 3 squared means minus 3 times minus 3. And that's equal to plus 9. So here I'm going to write 9 without the plus because we don't need it. And then I'm going to bring the plus 3 down. So plus 3, that's the plus 3. So we end up with x minus 3 squared. Minus 9 plus 3 is equal to minus 6. That's equal to 0. And now I'm going to go ahead and solve my question again. So I'm going to start with the minus 6. The opposite operation to minus 6 is plus 6. So I'm going to add plus 6 here and plus 6 on the other side of the equation. So that cancels it out. So I'm left with x minus 3 squared is equal to 6. The next thing I'm going to do is get rid of the square, and the opposite operation to squaring a number is taking the square root. So I'm going to take the square roots without forgetting the plus and minus on both sides. So plus and minus square root of 6. So that cancels out the square and the square roots. So I'm left with x minus 3 is equal to plus and minus square root of 6. And finally I'm going to get rid of the minus 3, and the opposite operation to minus 3 is plus 3. So I'm going to add plus 3 on both sides, and that's going to cancel it out, and I'm left with x is equal to 3, or if you want plus 3, we don't need the plus, okay, plus and minus square roots of 6. Okay, so I hope that was clear to you. Let me write down a couple of questions for you to try out and see if you can do them yourself. And what I would like you to do is give me the answer in the comment box which is found under this video. Okay, so for question number 1, I want you to solve x squared plus 6x plus 10 is equal to. The next one I want you to do is x squared minus should we say 5x plus 7 is equal to 0. Let me give you a third one. Try x squared minus 7x plus 3 equal to 0. Okay, try this out and write your answer in the comment box. Okay, don't be shy. And if you make any mistakes or what we're trying to do is show you how to get to the correct answer. So once you answer the comment box, okay? I will see some people giving me some good answers. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have watched my video on my blog on YouTube, don't forget to click the like button and share it with your friends. So that was another lesson from GCSEscience.com. I'm Mr. Tato, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.